LeBron James, about to be 40 years old, and he's a big topic on YouTube lately, or all the time, because he's that kind of guy. He's magnetic, and there's a channel out there that I frequent because they fall in line with kind of my opinions and what I believe when it comes to the NBA. Michael Jordan fans are the best. That's the name of the channel. The owner, the content creator on there, he's a cool guy. And every weekend they have a little panel, other content creators. I don't know if you know Angry Old Hoops fan. They got Scap Attack now is on there. He's a big time YouTuber. But they all get together, and a lot of times their main focus is LeBron James. And so I've got my co-host here privy to their channel, and he's heard some of their conversations on the King. Even had Gilbert Arenas pull up to one of their sessions a couple of weeks ago, and because of where Gil aligns himself, they were somewhat anti-Gil, even though that was a big thing for him to come onto their channel and kind of give his 2 cents, which I thought was cool, and showing some love to some smaller channels, creators. So my man BigNige has been texting me back and forth about, said panels and watching them, and has his own opinion on some of the things that are being said. So just like we did with the Lakers and Darvin Ham, I just gave him the floor. I said, I'm gonna stay out of your way. I'm gonna stay out the lane. I'm gonna let you come downhill and do what you got to do. So a lot of what they've said, and like I said, their opinions align with mine, but some of them are very, very extreme and overcritical of LeBron James, which I can be, but not to the extent that some of them go, because the guy is a great, and I'm sorry, you can't take that away from him. As much as you don't like him, you got to respect what he's done. So with that said, I'm gonna let BigNige talk about what he's heard from these past couple of panels. I know one of them was, why has LeBron James passed Kobe Bryant? And I don't even remember what the Gil conversation was, but I know a lot of LeBron talk was in there. So I'm gonna let you have your time to speak on what you've heard and your feelings towards some of what they've had to say and their opinions.
Jesus, again, where do I begin? I mean, okay, here's my thing, okay? So their whole channel is Michael Jordan fans are the best, right? So if you just don't even know what they're talking about, just scroll through some of like their most recent videos, right? Everything is about LeBron James. Now, humor me for a second, but if you are a Michael Jordan fan, why do you care what LeBron James is doing to that degree? And what I mean by that, for example, one video, they took, and I counted, about 55 minutes of their time to psychoanalyze JJ Redick being the next Lakers head coach. And it's like, okay, if you're thinking about it in a vacuum, okay, maybe they're just discussing why was he picked? And then, of course, as if you're a LeBron hater, or just anybody in the basketball world, your first thing is like, oh, he's picking JJ because they did a podcast together. He's making a dumb decision to bring a guy with no experience, no credibility, and then now they're bringing up other stuff about JJ Redick on some things he may or may not have said, his shrewd behavior. He's going into a press conference cursing, and they're jumping on him about that. Like players don't, like, people can't cuss in a post game. I'm not in a press conference, and I'm not saying that's warranted, but like, these are grown men. If they're talking about, if a reporter asks somebody, JJ Redick, a question, he's allowed to answer how he sees fit. Now you're psychoanalyzing, oh, you LeBron James, you got JJ Redick a head coaching job just for them to come up and cuss and advocate that. What kind of leader are you? Like, it's LeBron's fault that JJ Redick has an opinion. that he might have cussed 1 or 2 times. Okay. So they continue to rant about that. Then they get into the Bronny James pickup for the Lakers. And of course, because they have this stigma against LeBron James, but these are Michael Jordan fans. But again, I ask, why are you so worried about what the Lakers and LeBron are doing? If you're an MJ fan, I got no problem if you're saying MJ is a better scorer, a better defender, whatever. That's your opinion. But why are we putting out all these narratives about LeBron James? Oh, he has to get his son, a job. His son is terrible. All this. Bronny James ain't do nothing to y'all. What if he were to go and look at y'all's channel and y'all are talking bad about this kid because of his daddy? But you guys are all, and these guys are older dudes. I'm sure some of them have kids. They're not going to sit here and lie to me and say they're in a position to get their son, like if they're, for example, an engineer, best of their field, and their son wants to be in that same field, and they own this billion-dollar company that has the best of the best engineers. You wouldn't get your son to come in there, learn from them, potentially work there as the best firm of engineers? Like what are we talking about here? Like, you're gonna really get on LeBron's case for the Lakers using the 55th pick to draft Bronny? Like the 55th pick is worth a damn in the NBA? You know how many 55th overall picks are still in the league in the last 5 years? It's just Bronny. And he signed a 4-year deal worth $7.9 million. And we know that's not just on his skills, that's his namesake, his work ethic. They're, investing into what he could be, which is what you do with any draft pick. You think they just gave Wemby all that money for him to just be the same player as he walked in? No. They're marketing his brand. They're building him up. They're paying you this money for what they think you can become. But again, they're not looking at that. They're only looking at, oh, LeBron, why don't you just come out and say that you got your son a roster spot on the Lakers? Why are you being a coward? This is why LeBron can't be the face of the NBA, because LeBron doesn't take accountability for nothing. And just going through all this stuff. And again, I'm just sitting there, and and some of y'all might be asking me, why as a LeBron fan are you so fixated on these Michael Jordan fans? Well, if the conversation was just about basketball, then it'd be a different thing. But if all you're doing is just slandering this man who don't even know y'all, will never ever meet y'all, but all you want to do is ridicule him, ridicule his fans, talk bad about his family. Like you guys are grown men. Like, y'all have nothing better to do than just badmouth LeBron. Like, I just don't get it, because we're not analyzing basketball. We're talking about his life decisions. Like that one dude, I don't even remember dude's name because he makes me so mad. He talks about the decision, right? And he talks about, okay, fair or not, about how it made LeBron look like a cornball. Like, so, and there's many different opinions on the decision and how LeBron, voiced his free agency, leaving Cleveland in the manner that he did, joining Bosh and Wade in Miami. Everybody has a bunch of different opinions on it. I get it. But you're going to say him doing the decision just takes him out of the top 10? Like, what are we really talking about? We're not talking about basketball. What does the decision have to do with anything with his basketball? Like his basketball talent, his God-given ability. What does the decision have to do with that? Oh, Michael Jordan would never. Kobe Bryant would never. So this ain't Kobe's career. This ain't MJ. This is LeBron's career, right? I just lose myself trying to understand, because I'm trying to put the biggest objective pair of pants I have to see, maybe for a second, to understand what these geezers are talking about. But they're not saying anything.
They gotta be geezers.
They gotta be geezers, man.
Oh, come on.
They got Gilbert Arenas on there, one of the best podcasters out there right now, popping off. They they invite him on there and they get his perspective and they say he's wrong. You're asking an actual NBA player who's been through this, who's played against LeBron, played against Kobe, seen Michael, like you're telling a guy who's seen all three of these guys live or played against them, you're saying he's wrong. LeBron shouldn't be in the top 10. He's not even in the GOAT discussion. Huh? A guy who played against him? Like, come on. Like, again, what are we really talking about? If you hate LeBron, just say that. Turn your channel into I hate the LeBron James fan club. Make yourself that. If you do that, it makes more sense on the content that you're pushing out because you're not even analyzing basketball. You're just saying, I don't like how LeBron did this. I don't like how LeBron did that. Okay, that's fine. You're well in your right to do that. But to say he's not the GOAT, to say he's not one of the greatest players to ever play the game because you don't like how the Lakers hired JJ Redick, you don't like how they got Bronny James on the roster, you don't like the decision. Okay. And you want to talk about LeBron's defense in his late 30s? What, we trying to say that Kobe was playing defense in his 30s? We trying to say KD's playing defense now? Hell, Jokic don't play defense and he's not even in his 30s. Like, what are we really talking about, man? And it's people like that that really put a bad rep on the podcast and, verse because people come on here with their opinions, right? And we get that. Everybody can have an opinion. But put some stats behind it. Put some facts behind what you're saying. If you're just going to come up here and speak on emotion, these bots out here are going to actually believe what you're saying, right? You're going to educate people and give them a whole bunch of lies. Like if you want to say LeBron's not the GOAT because he's 4-6 in the NBA Finals, lead with that. You have some credibility in what you're saying. But if you just say, "Oh, he's a flopper. Oh, he can't shoot. He joined Bosh and Wade to get his first ring," like then you're not talking basketball, man. You're just speaking. You don't like him. You never will like him, and that's fine. But don't use his life decisions as a way to justify taking him out of the GOAT conversation.
Ran over.
That's all I got for right now. I'm just trying. I'm trying to keep it YouTube friendly because I want to say some other things, but I ain't gonna say it. So I'm gonna
let's not throw too many shots. But I mean, there's parts I agree with you with, and there's parts I agree with them with. So I'm gonna stay in the middle. But yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It does get weird when you call yourself that and then you speak on the other player a lot more. It gets a little iffy there, but they don't
even say anything about MJ. No, literally, you can sit through 2 hours of their stream and they might say Michael Jordan 3 or 4 times. And it's just to say, "Oh, MJ would never do this," and then continue to ridicule LeBron. Go ahead. I just had to get that out there.
I mean, they to me, it's interesting content, and I've been watching it, and we've been discussing how what we've heard and what we think on those topics, and it does get a little bit. They take it places where I think let's keep it basketball, but like I said, my opinions probably align a little more than them because I guess I'm a geezer like them because they're mostly my age, so. We all kind of that's who we grew up with, so we're gonna ride that wave. But yeah, but I mean, I can see both sides, but I want you to get that off your chest because I know you've been texting me with your little thoughts. And I said, what better place than on our podcast than to and maybe you can take your services over there and maybe
I'd love to give these old geezers a lesson, man. They sound senile. Like I'm not even saying geezers because they're probably not that old, but just the garbage that's just spewing out of their mouth. They just sound like they're just not all the way there. Like it's just too much time has passed and they're just talking like some senile old men.
Well, I can attest they're not senile old men. They have some pretty good knowledge. If you go to their individual channels, they do drop some knowledge and know quite a bit about basketball. They're just
I
not
can't. Yeah.
fans. They're not fans of LeBron James, and they make that clear.
And
And
that's fine. You ain't got to be a fan, but like, just speak in terms of basketball. Like, I don't even know because I don't remember half the dude's name, but one dude who was talking about Kobe and talking about the 2010, Lakers and was, speaking on them. He was saying like, Kobe ended up beating that was it that Magic team that ended
mhm.
up that LeBron lost to, and he was saying like, this is a 66 or 60 plus win Cavs team. They lost to Dwight Howard and the Magic, but then Kobe goes and beats them, and he says, that's a reason why Kobe is better than LeBron. Well, okay. And then the other guy, again, I don't know all their names because there's so many people in that panel. I can't keep up because I'm just seeing a whole bunch of craziness going on. But I know this guy, he held the '07 finals against LeBron James, right? Where he was unmatched, outmanned, outgunned by that San Antonio squad on the Cleveland roster that we both agree shouldn't have been there. But they got there on the greatness of LeBron James, and not just by himself. I'm not just going to give him all the credit like some fans do. His players played their role, but we understand that LeBron was the biggest reason why they got to the finals. But you want to put it on a young 20-ish, 23, 24-year-old LeBron James shoulders that what? They didn't win the finals? Were they supposed to beat that team? They want to talk about, oh, MJ would have carried his team. Bull crap. MJ would not have carried that sorry Cavs team against a team like the Spurs. Baloney. Get out of here with that foolishness. Kobe at that age wasn't going to do it. MJ at that age wasn't going to do it. No player would have done that unless they could do some shadow clone jutsu and conjure up clones of themselves. That's the only way that it was going to happen. If you would have put a team of 5 LeBrons out there, could they have done it? Probably. I'd give them a better chance of beating that team than that '07 Cavs roster. So I don't know, man. It's just the stuff that they're saying. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't to me.
Well, and that's you're entitled to your opinion. Like I said, it's I listen to it weekly, and it's interesting. Some of it I agree with. Some of it, like I said, I just think they are a little too overcritical of LeBron James. But I understand. You're not a fan. You want to be a little extra critical to that player. And and when Gil was on, I thought Gil was making some pretty good points when he was, talking about how guys aren't playing now and pretty much saying that it's not their fault that they're not out. It's not like they don't want to be out there. It's the team telling them, you're sitting tonight because, you're DMP. You're medically not ready to be out there. We're going to make sure we're going to keep you out a few more days just to make sure you're good. And I get that. And what he was saying made a lot of sense because, this is a business. Teams have to take care of their assets. And I can attest to that because I'm a Spurs fan. When Kawhi was upset with the Spurs, he forced his way out. And we lost, not a generational player, but we lost a very good player, as we saw when he went to the Toronto Raptors, brought them their first championship. So, when teams do things and, lose that trust from your player, then that's business. They lose money because that player can force them way out now, especially with the player empowerment, force them their way out. And, that team goes from selling out arenas to, the family members being there every game. And that's about it. So, you got to be, like you said, Gilbert's done it and been there. So, they should have, I think some of them should have took some of his knowledge and kind of, let that sink in a little bit. But I get it. They feel strongly for what they believe in, and that's what they're going to do. And I can link that channel in the description if you guys want to check it out. They do it every week. They have a big panel of guys where they discuss different topics. They have a debate league right now. you missed the cutoff, but maybe next time I'll get you in that debate where you can debate some of those guys and you know see what they're made of. But,
it'll be like debating a wall. I know they ain't gonna listen, and they ain't gonna let me finish. So I might as well just be debating myself in the mirror. That's all it's gonna be. But
well, you never know. You never
all
know.
means, definitely try it. I wouldn't mind it, but
well,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see in the future, and hopefully, maybe you can get on there and let them know your opinions on some of the things they're talking about. So we'll see in the future, but